Canada. Canadian household borrowing is slowing, and it's a warning sign. Borrowing. How's about Canadian income is flattened for the last 15, 20 years? How's about wages are not keeping up with inflation? So borrowing spiked. Borrowing skyrocketed. And we warned you guys, stop using your home. If you own a home, stop using your home as an ATM machine. Stop. You can't borrow yourself out of debt. So let's move on here. Canadian household borrowing is slowing. Well, that's a good sign, but here's the deal. We're in billions, trillions of dollars. Billions in second mortgages and mortgage debt peaks as structural slowdown looms. And here's your consumer credit growth slows. But Canadians are already in debt. Canadians, their total debt service ratio is 50-60% of their income is going to service debt. So they have no disposable income. Yeah, of course borrowing is going to slow. Property values are dropping. Equity. Banks are going to call second mortgages. We warned you guys about this. They're going to be calling in second mortgages. We want our money. Find another bank to carry that debt. Because banks quite frankly, don't want to carry unsecured, dangerous debt. Oh, we got a super chat here. You're a big guy in my books, Mike. Always ahead. Thank you, RC Lemereau. All right, so let's go here. Crack and fentanyl smokers are in charge of TTC buses, streetcars, or subway. So there's a lot of videos going up from the Toronto area of people abusing and using drugs on the on public transit. And it's circulating. It's been happening for years now. And a lot of this youth has just given up. They're realizing, well, I'm going to work my entire life and just scratch the surface of a mortgage and not even pay it off. I could rent a one bedroom in Toronto for $2,200 and work just have to work two jobs just to pay a rent. Like, so people are starting to realize that they can't make it, that they're not, there's no, so what do they start doing? Turning to drugs, hanging out with the wrong people, bad, really bad situations they're getting themselves into, right? And it's mainly the Canadian people that are getting into this problem, right? You don't see no Chinaman doing drugs on thing, right? You don't see any Indian people doing it. Well, the Indian people go in, Indian and Pakistanis, they go into liquor stores and grab all the bottles and walk out. We were showing you guys videos on that. They do other types of fraud crime, right? But I feel so bad for the Canadians, especially the Canadians that are being offered MAID, where their parents, a lot of these kids' parents, like my parents, came here from Portugal to build the buildings and the streets and the highways. After that's all built, they bring in the third world to come and use the roads, to come and use. Remember Obama said, you didn't build that? Remember Obama? You see that road going to that building? You didn't build that? That's right, because that was the European expansion that built that. You got that right, Obama. It was the European, it was the Irish, the Italians, the Portuguese, the Greeks that built that. So a lot of people are realizing, like that famous quote we say from Fast and Furious 5. Remember Fast and Furious 5? When you dominate people with violence and they have nothing to lose, what do? They fight back. But here, we're starting to see that these teen takeovers are starting to grow across America. And you're going to start seeing teen takeovers in Canada where teens that have nothing to lose because they have nothing, there's no future, they're going to go out and start trashing the town, burning cars and flipping cars. Teen takeovers coming to Canada. That's a prediction right there. And Canada sees record population drop, immigration policies already easing. So again, it's Europeans, Canadians build this country and then bring in the third world. Yet we don't need those people here. We don't need people leeching off the resources. And you get all these people and trillions of dollars of laundered money from China and then bringing in 4 million Indians in 2020 to 2024 to try and fix the housing crisis. Because the Canadian proper can't get into their own houses. So what? Let's bring in 4 million Indians. We'll stack 20, 30 to a house. Oh, I thought you wanted to be green. We should be green. Occupancy laws. 2 people, 1 bathroom. 4 people, 2 bathrooms. 6 people, 3 bathrooms. That's how it works. So you want to be green. Green Canada. So let's be green Canada. 2 people, 1 bathroom. 4 people, 2 bathrooms. You have 10 people in your house, you need 5 bathrooms in your house for an occupancy law. You want to be green? I'll be Greta Thunberg green on occupancy laws. 100%. Mark my words. I'll be Greta Thunberg 100% on 2 people, 1 bathroom. Oh yeah, real quick in a heartbeat. Why is Canada's population dropping, or why is it in a negative territory? Because the Canadian proper and the European expansion that came here, they can't afford to have kids. They came to build the country, but then they're giving the country away to foreigners. You go to a bank, you walk in, it's all Chinese people. You walk into another bank, it's all Indian people. Like, okay, these people didn't build the building, but why are they here? What for? You go outside the bank, it's all Canadian homeless people. Right across Canada. Go to a bank anywhere across Canada. Go to any village, town, city, inner city. I don't give a shit. Go to the bank there, walk in, there's no Canadian people. Walk out, and it's all Canadian people begging for money. Let's build this building and bring people from China to work here. What are you, retarded? So, there it is right there. That's what's, anyways, yeah. So, Canada's incomplete, isn't a complete, that's what I kept saying to Americans. Watch when the farmland that China owns, the farmland starts to leak. They're going to start leaking the farmland that China owns in Canada on the U.S. border. Watch for that, folks. You heard it from me first years ago. Now it's going to be coming out soon. Everything I talk about is 5-6 years. Watch. Faz conta que não disse nada.